Okay guys, so in this video we're doing top-down analysis on GBPUSD, right? So barkamu da dawowa, wannan bidiyon zamu yi top-down analysis akan GBPUSD. So idan shine farkon zuwan ka wannan channel, don't forget subscribe, kai subscribing sharp, sannan kai liking, kai sharing video din, kayan kana da tambaya kai dropping a comment section. Now this is GBPUSD. Muna so mu yi top-down analysis. Now a lot of people, mutane da yawa, have been asking cewa okay, ya za a yi top-down analysis. Now, based on my view da kuma strategy ko concept da nake amfani da shi, shine za mu yi top-down analysis wannan. Now, if you look at it clearly, idan mun ga wannan chart, wani yanzu will be confused here. Wani wannan chart din zai dan dagula mishi kai, but idan mun fara technical analysis, mun fara top-down analysis namu, I believe da ka same shi da sauki. Now, kamar yadda na faɗa, wannan GBPUSD daily time frame. Now idan zaka fara top down analysis, depend on wani irin trader ne kai, but me ina farawa daga cikin me daga daily time frame. So wayansu akwai mutanen da suke fara daga monthly, weekly, 4 hour ma, but ni dai tunda top down analysis dina nake farawa akan me akan wato ainihin daily time frame. Now idan ka zo chart, wani lokaci zaka ga candlesticks din da yawa, zaka kasa ma ina zaka fara, right? Now basically abunda nake yi shine daga lokacin da farkon inda zan fara yi, idan ina so bana son concentrating akan nan gaba daya, farkon abunda zan yi shine ina irga candlestick guda 250 ko 300, highest 300, zan irga candlestick 300 akai zan fara concentrating. Now taya zan irga, because wani su za su ce taya zan irga. Now wannan tool zan doka, na ɗauki wannan tool tun daga nan yanzu zan fara, right? Tun daga nan, sorry, zan fara, right? Idan na fara yanzu za ku gani maybe har zuwa nan, za ku ga ina da 280 ko let me say 300 din, right? So in na fara daga nan za ku ga cewa ina da 300, na samu 300 candles din, right? Na samu 300, so that means daga nan zuwa nan zan yi concentrating, right? Ba lallai sai na tsaya ina bin abubuwan baya ba, already na riga da na san me yanzu a daily time frame, na san cewa candlestick guda 300 zai bani abin da nake bukata. Now na farko tunda na riga na samu daga nan zuwa nan, so zan fara identifying me recent structure, right? Kamar yadda nake faɗa kullum, once ka zo kan technical analysis, kana so ka fara technical analysis, the first thing that you need to do is ka yi identifying recent structure ka yi identifying recent break of structure. Idan kana so ka gane ina ne market take zuwa, shine farko recent break of structure shine zaka fara identifying. Now idan nayi haka, ina gani anan, muna gani clearly this is my recent break of structure on the daily time frame, muna gani ko. Now daily time frame shine recent break of structure dina. Now anan ya riga da ya nuna mana cewa we are bullish, right? Kasuwan is bullish, right? Because this is our what? Our high. Wannan shine zamu indicating, that means muna so mu identifying trading range din. Now this one, and then here wannan wurin. So these two places now is where we're going to concentrate. And now guda biyu, this is where we are going to be concentrating now, inside this range, right? A cikin wannan range ne zamu yi concentrating for us to identify where we want to enter the market, and then ina ne zamu yi taking trade. Now since we have identified, identifying one break of structure, we now know that we are bullish, right, on the daily time frame, right? Kasuwan is bullish at daily time frame. So the next thing is we want to identify the other block, right? The other block that causes this break of structure. Now for me, mostly ina amfani da me na ce muku, we use this Fibonacci retracement. Then we need to identify our discount and premium level, right? Using this Fibonacci retracement, kun gani cewa mun identifying premium da kuma discount. Now we know that our other bullish order block need to be a cikin wannan mene suna abun discount level. I told you that a sama nan, this is premium, this is discount. So if you want to buy, kana so ka saya ne a cikin wannan me premium discount level. If you always want to buy, you want to buy inside this premium level, right? So now since we have identified where the premium and the discount level is, then a ina ne za mu yi mene next ya kamata mu yi. Next abin da ya kamata mu yi shine mu yi identifying wani order block, the extreme order block that causes this change of character, because sometimes muna da mai order blocks da yawa, right? Muna da order blocks da yawa, so you just select the extreme one. So looking at this one, then we know there is this extreme order block here. Muna da wannan extreme order block on daily time frame. This is the order block that causes what? The change of the break of structure. Now we can see clearly cewa me muna da wannan order block din, and then we see that clearly that this order block is sweeping me, is sweeping liquidity, and now we know that is taking liquidity, and now it's sweep liquidity here. So let's indicate it. We have the sweep here. So now, and we have inducement, right? We have inducement here because now here is the inducement, and then here we also have inducement because and now price but the shiga order block. But so after identifying this, by me identifying this bullish order block, what next are we going to wait? We wait for the market to come down and form some inducement. So we see that there is inducement, market entire forming inducement, right? And we have what? We have a fair value gap, attached to it. So now the market interdao. So now this is where the critical things come in now, because we want to look for an opportunity now. If you want to confirm, right? Idan kana so kai confirming trade ɗinka, because we are not going to enter the trade on the daily time frame. We need to come down to maybe lower time frame, right? So now idan zamu soka lower time frame, sai mun soka lower time frame kafin mu yi considering shiga wannan kasuwan neman confirmation. But then the market has to come to our order block. Say kasuwan tarkafi, before we look for any confirmation or any change of character, we need to make sure cewa price ya zo wannan bullish order block, right? Before we start looking for change of character. You don't just look for change of character, right? Because for example now, if you say okay, anan zamu nemi change of character, we're going to look for change of character here, and then you took this at change of character, you enter here, you see that the market come down, and then what took you out, right? It's taking naka out. So because now market din bata shiga wannan order block din ba, so you need to wait until the market enter the order block first. Dole sai mun jira market din ta shiga order block. So we have this one now. We have this market tazo close to our order block, but then it reversing bai shiga order block ba, so it's not valid. We are not going to look for change of character here. We wait until the market enter our order block first. Now, if at all market didn't come down again to enter there, then just forget about it, because you need to have a rule. Whatever concept you are trading, you need to have a rule. So based on my rules is that I need to wait for the market to tap into this order block. So now this one didn't tap, so I'm not considering it, but I'm considering NG. So now the next thing I'm going to wait for is I will drag my order block to see where the market is coming back to tap into my order block. So we see here clearly that the market came down and then tap into my order block. The market came down again and then tap into our order block here. So now this one serves as inducement, right? So now this is the time I'm going to look for a confirmation on the lower time frame. Now since since we have this now, the market tapping into this order block now, so I don't use daily time frame to enter market. Bama amfani da mai daily time frame saboda mu shiga kasuwa. So I go down to lower time frame. So now what we will be doing is, let me clear this Fibonacci since we don't need it now. So we already know that we are bullish. So we're going to go forward 4-hour time frame. Then we look for Now we are on the 4-hour time frame, right? So we already know cewa muna downtrend, muna uptrend. So now we have this recent break of structure, right? When the market is coming down, the kasuwa take zuwa tana making one internal internal structures, right? So now we have this this is our last break of structure here, right? So we have a trading range inside this place now. Muna da wani trading range anan. Now let's indicate this our break of structure. No, sorry, yeah. So I have this break of structure now. So that means this is my swing high. This place is my swing high, right? this place, wannan shine swing high din mu da I want to wait for market to take out this place first before I say okay, well, now I will start looking for buying opportunity. So because this is the confirmation we are waiting for on the lower time frame. This confirmation is for us to see market taking out this place, taking out this high first with the body closure. Now, because already we are in the what? We are in our market has tapped into our daily order block, right? So now we have this. Now I will still come down for my entry since I started on the daily time frame. I will come down to 1 hour for my entries, right? Now I'll come down to 1 hour for my entries. So now what I will do here is that now since this you can see that here is my last break of structure, right? Because I don't consider this one wording, I don't consider it as a valid break of structure, but I'm considering one wording as a what? As a valid pullback. Because let me show you something. You can see that yeah, it's a pullback, but then it's not valid for me because it's not up to the pullback is not up to what? It's not up to 50%, and that's why you see that even when the price break through this place, it didn't come down, right? It didn't come down to confirm the bullish movement because this one is not what? It's not valid, right? This place, this pullback is not valid. Why am I saying that? Because the pullback didn't do like okay, reach almost 50% of the recent breakout, previous breakout structure. Let's put Fibonacci and then let's see. Now if you put up use your Fibonacci, then mummy and find the Fibonacci, you can see that clearly anan chewame the pullback is not up to 50% of what Fibonacci level. That means that doesn't make it valid. And even okay, not using Fibonacci, in kana ampani kawai da wana abun the normal pullback, at least it has to come back to this area, like it has to come back like this to here before it drop down. That's when we have a valid break of structure here. But for this case now, I don't think this is valid using my concept or my rules. So the only valid place now is this one. This one is my valid swing high now. So I need to wait for price on this 1 hour because I told you guys we're going to enter this account 1 hour, right? We want to use 1 hour as an entry since we started on the daily time frame now. So I want to use this 1 hour as my daily entry. Sometimes when people want to, some people will still come down to 15 minutes, go back about to minimize risks. But for me, I will use 1 hour here. So now you can see that lastly price did what? Last price came here and what? And give us that change of character. Now we have this change of character now here. So let me just indicate it. We have this change of character. Now muna da wannan change of character. Mun samu change of character da muke bukata. Now the next thing that we do is picking our own Fibonacci, like using the Fibonacci tools to identify where the order block, the extreme order block, right, that causes this change of character on the 1 hour, right? Continuously, what you did on that higher time frame is the same thing you're going to do on the lower time frame, right? So now abunda muka yi a higher time frame shine zamu yi aina a lower time frame. So now we have this, right? Let's pick our Fibonacci first. Bari mu dauki Fibonacci mu yi amfani da shi. Now kamar yadda na gaya muku abunda kai a higher time frame shine za ka yi a lower time frame, right? So if we pick our Fibonacci, measure it, you understand? Now we will be looking for our what? Order block inside this area, inside this red area. This is where we'll be looking for our what? Point of interest, be it fair value gap, order block. So the only thing is that you'll be looking for your what? Point of interest inside this red area, that's discount area. Ko ba haka bane, a cikin wannan discount area shine zamu nema entry mu, because wannan wurin shine discount area. In ka nema entry anan zai cire ka, because this place is too expensive. This is premium, so it's too expensive here. You can't buy here. So we want to buy it inside what? Inside the discount area. So let's see now if we have this now. Let's look at this place and see where are we going to enter exactly. Now we already know our 50%, so we already know where we are looking at. So we'll be looking at this place, right? Now if we say this, we cannot pick this again. Maybe we can pick this. Now let's look at this. We have different order blocks here, like we can see different order block, but the only one I can see here is 2. That's this one. This is number 1. This is also valid for me. This is also valid, even though we have liquidity below. So but that means I'm finding the one. You can divide whenever you have 2 in Canada, 2 point of interest, you divide your interest. That can divide the interest in just like I used to say. You divide your interest, and then another one that I will pick is this one, this extreme one, right? This extreme one here. You can see this area here. This is where I'm going to pick, right? This is where I'm going to pick. So this 2 extreme one. Now the first one here, for the first one here, I'm going to use confirmatory entry. If you want to enter on this first one, you want to use confirmatory entry. For both of it, you can use confirmatory entry, but then depends on your entry model. But for my entry model, then this one, I'm going to use confirmatory entry. But for this, I'm just going to place my trade here. Now, for example, what do I mean by confirmatory entry? As price came in here, right? I wanted to make a change of character here, right? And then boom, like this. Then before I enter, right, I'll enter at this level, right? This is maybe this is something like this, right? I need to see change of character. That means this one is breaking structure, change of character here. Before I what on the 15 minutes, actually at 15 minutes, you go down to 15 minutes and look for this pattern, you know. Make sure some change of character. Once you see change of character, then you look for what fair value gap or other block that causes that change of character, then you go long. Because initially we can see that on the daily time frame we are very bullish, right? Because we see this is our last break of structure. So now this is what I'm going to do on what under 15 minutes for my entry on this first POI here, because you can see we have fair value gaps here, and then we have inducement actually, or liquidity. I can call it liquidity or inducement. The fair value gap. So my confluences are there, and actually this one too, I have liquidity here, and that's why I say this one. I will have to divide the loss, or maybe I will have to divide my trade. Maybe if I'm entering with $1,000, then I will use 500 here and then use 500 here, and then I will divide risk. Maybe if I'm risking maybe $200, I will risk $100 here and then risk $100 here. At the end of the day, even if I lose the trade, bought the trade, took a view, and then I losing, I still it still goes according to my plan, because the plan is maybe you have a specific amount that you want to lose, right? So now actually this is what I'm looking out for, like on GBPUSD and shine abunda muke nema akan GBPUSD. Now this one here, once price ya zo nan, price come in here, I will look forward long position to continue the trend, right? This is it. I told you, like this one, seriously, for me, I'm not going to look for any change of character here. I will just enter the trade directly. But for here, this first one here, I will have to see change of character first before I would enter the trade. So kamar yadda nake faɗa, wannan na karshe bara mu yi me, bara mu jira change of character anan ba, kawai ni zan shiga anan zan shiga. But wannan din zan yi me, zan shiga amma sai na samu mai confirmation at 15-minute time frame. That's change of character, say in a long position, say in ci gaba. But buying it here or entering the market at this level here around this place is risky, because what is still in what our premium zone. So it's not advisable you enter the market here. So that's it from this video. I hope you understand something, or you add something to your skills. Now don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe my own channel for next video. Drop in sabida kai ne zaka fara gani sharp. Sai mu haɗu a video na gaba.